Good morning, everybody. Yes, it's still morning. Actually, it's wee hours of the morning, and I should get this video out before the clock strikes noon. I am getting up very early on Thursdays in order to get this ball rolling because it's our most important time of the year. Fourth quarter, the holidays are coming up. Nobody's ready for them. We're not well supplied, but we're going to make it work somehow. At any rate, got up early so that I could get in here, get the menu done, and it is now officially composed and printed. First thing I do when I get here at 5:30 in the morning is walk around the store, peering around in the shadows for what might inspire a wine bar menu. And that has not been a difficult thing to do in recent weeks because what we're doing right now are 3 weeks in a row of Thanksgiving-oriented wines. And what we chose to do this week is a white flight where everything comes from the French region of Alsace. Alsace is in eastern France. Historically, it has sometimes been part of Germany, rather disputed area. And maybe that's why you see these Alsatian bottles coming in a hock shape. That's H-O-C. That's the shape of this bottle here, a hock. Now you know something new. Why are we talking about Alsace and Thanksgiving at the same time? Thanksgiving is obviously an American holiday, and Alsace is French, sometimes German. And what's the deal? Well, it turns out that Alsatian wines go wonderfully with that Thanksgiving dinner. Think about what goes on that crazy table of yours. You've got so much stuff, so many different exotic flavors. It's a riot of flavor, and many of those flavors are spicy, a la, you might have clove or nutmeg or cinnamon going on, and you've especially incorporated some fruity flavors, a la the cranberry jelly, and perhaps some oranges stuffed with yams. And how about those yams? Those yams are downright sweet, right? Even if it's just the yam without the brown sugar, that's a sweet flavor. And how do you work with all of these crazy exotic flavors that are Thanksgiving dinner? You use Alsatian wine. It's great. It's not necessarily sweet. I know you're afraid of this shape perhaps because you said, I used to drink the sweet stuff when I was a rookie wine drinker. I'm never going back. Well, you got to kind of get over that and come back to wines that are ever so slightly sweet sometimes, and sometimes actually bone dry. And that's how Alsace normally works. These are all virtually dry wines. Some are like severely dry, and yet they have a beautiful fruit. What we were talking about is a fruity aroma that rides over all of the crazy flavors that you've got on your Thanksgiving table. These are the wines that can rule all that can govern that that riot, I keep calling it, that riot of smells and flavors. And so we do this every year. And actually last Saturday would have been, if this was a normal year, Ugel Day. Ugel Day is something that the wine steward has been honored to put on. We have been chosen by that Alsatian producer to have their Ugel Day. We would be the regional presenter of a whole line of Ugel Alsatian wines, first Saturday of November. It didn't come off this year. The supplies haven't been great. And so what we decided to do instead, in order to kind of maintain the tradition, is to just say, we're going to have Alsace Day. Why don't we do that? So this Saturday is Alsace Day when, we'll make as much of it as we can. We will, in fact, make a little food to go with your Alsatian wine flight. That's this Saturday only. In the meantime, you can do 4 Alsatian wines all weekend long, starting today, Thursday. These 4 Alsatian whites can be tasted as a flight Thursday and Friday, but on Saturday, we will expand the menu a little bit if we haven't run out of wine to perhaps 6, maybe even 7 Alsatian wines as a flight. And if you purchase that flight, you get to enjoy it with choucroute, which is a combination of boiled potato and sauerkraut done in an Alsatian way. I'll be making that up. It incorporates bacon and apple, a little bit of Riesling, and you cook it for a long time until it just darkens a little bit. It's delicious with the potato and with Eric's sausages. I'm careful to say that in plural. At any rate, he is going to do the sausage. I'm going to do the rest of the choucroute combination, and you'll get a nice plate of this really hearty fare. It sounds pretty heavy, doesn't it? But these wines love it. They also love Thanksgiving dinner, but in the meantime, you get to eat some nice choucroute, that Alsatian fare, along with great Alsatian wines this Saturday afternoon. Alsace Day will run from about, let's say, 1 o'clock. Well, how about as soon as you arrive, 12, 11, whatever, all the way up till maybe 4 or whenever the food runs out, whenever the wine runs out. Alsace Day. So, but in the meantime, let me just quickly describe the 4 white wines that will certainly be part of the weekend starting today. Ugel is, in fact, shown. It's represented once in this flight because we were able to get a hold of. That's not it. That's the finale. We're starting over here. Sorry. This is Ugel's well-known Gentil. Gentil is kind of their worker white. It has basically everything they grow in Alsace in it. It's got Sylvaner, Pinot Gris, Pinot Blanc, Gewürztraminer, Muscat, Riesling. It's got it kind of means to summarize Alsace in one blend. One good, inexpensive, and dry blend. Alsatian wine, it's what's for breakfast. Woof. Delicious, clean, fresh. You know, you hear that Muscat or Gewürz or Riesling are in there, and they all are. You might worry, oh, it's going to be sweet. No, it's got beautiful fruit. Fruit is not the same as sweetness. You can have a bone-dry wine that exhibits beautiful fruit, okay? Get the hell over it. All right, how about this? This is a Pinot Blanc. Now, in Alsace, you have what are called the noble grapes. There are 4 of them. Someone decided that a particular group of 4 grapes were the best grapes of Alsace, the noble grapes. Wow. Those highfalutin grapes are Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Pinot Gris, and Muscat. Well, here's the lowly Pinot Blanc, which usually makes a good, serviceable Alsatian white. It is kind of the workhorse of Alsace. Here is one that aspires. I think it says, screw the royals, I don't want to be one, but I'm going to be good anyway. This is a better Pinot Blanc than I've ever had for about 20 bucks. It's got more richness to the nose than a Pinot Blanc will often have. Like I said, normally they're clean, squeaky clean, fresh, good, serviceable. There's more here. There's kind of a melon, muskmelon richness. A little more body. We were very impressed with this particular Pinot Blanc, so impressed that we spoke for 5 cases. We want you to have this weekend. We want you to have it with Thanksgiving dinner. I think it's going to kick ass. All right. What's next? Well, Riesling. And once again, you're freaking out. You're seeing these scarily shaped bottles and hearing about grapes like Riesling, Gewürztraminer, and Muscat and all that. It's like, oh boy, I'm not going to the wine store this weekend. You must. You got to get over it. These are fantastic Thanksgiving wines. They'll also be wonderful with that food I'm talking about. And this is, in fact, calm down, dry Riesling. Yes. Oh, it's nice. It's got a little bit of the petrol thing that they talk about, along with lychee and tangerine or nectarine or some kind of een. That's delicious. Once again, have it with Alsatian fare, have it with turkey, Thanksgiving dinner in general, and in the meantime, how about sushi? This is a terrific sushi wine. Dry. It's dry, okay? Finally, this is a wine that Kermit Lynch used to get to import. He no longer does, and he probably is a little bit upset about the fact that he no longer has in his portfolio the great Zindhumbrecht, which is arguably one of the best producers of Alsace. They grow everything biodynamically. It's a very thoughtful, beyond organic way of farming. It keeps the earth alive for the next generation. It's healthier for us to drink, supposedly, and arguably makes better wine. Well, this Gewürztraminer was hard to get. We were looking and asking and searching and wondering if we would have any Gewürztraminer for Zindhumbrecht this year, and there's a little bit in California. Again, supply is tough, right? But, oh my God, I'm glad we landed this. We brought in 2 cases. We're going to get another one tomorrow because I'm afraid that by the time we have Alsace Day, we'll already be out. It's exotic. It's decadent. It's very, very good. Now, on Alsace Day, we may, like I said, expand the menu. It kind of depends on supplies to see what Thursday and Friday do to our inventories, but we are pretty sure that we will add to the menu a couple of Grand Cru wines from Joseph Catin, and one's a Pinot Gris and one's a Riesling. Grand Cru means it's coming from a better site, so it costs a little bit more, but for Grand Cru, these are relatively affordable. So just look forward to hearing about and tasting a bunch of wonderful Alsatian things this weekend with Thanksgiving dinner in mind. Well, with Thanksgiving dinner in mind, we have also obviously created a red flight. And you know what? I didn't tell you about the sparkling wine, and it's in the refrigerator, but it's from Alsace too. It's by Ruhlmann. The sparkling wine of the week is Alsatian, just to stick with the theme. It's 60% Auxerrois and 40% Pinot Blanc. It's very good. Good sparkling wine. It's a brut, it's dry, it's good stuff. And here comes the red flight. Hey, we're back to Alsace. How about that? Yes, one wine in the red flight represents the region of Alsace. We thought that would be cool. So this is in fact a Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is kind of like the most prevalent red grape. Red varietal, red variety. There's a difference between a variety and a varietal. We can talk about that later. At any rate, 100% Pinot Noir from Joseph Catin. A big producer in Alsace, but a good one, and a good one. You know, you can be big and good, or be big but good. This is a producer that's represented 3 times in our menu. This is Pinot Noir that works. And I said that because in Germany and Alsace, sometimes the Pinots are a little weird. This is slightly riper than a red Burgundy, I would say, to the nose. Nice fruit. A little bit thorny, a little bit rose bushy, maybe. Generally very attractive. It would just kill it with turkey. Nice stuff. So, Alsace, you get another nod in the red flight. That's nice. Where are we going to go next? Why don't we go to Spain? How about this? We're going to put this in the wine club this weekend. And actually, as of, tomorrow morning, let's just say that, we will have all of our wine club wines for November here, and therefore, wine club members, you can come pick them up. This is fantastic for Thanksgiving. One reason why we chose it. We also picked it because we haven't had a nice garnacha in a while. This is garnacha from Spain. Garnacha is the same grape as Grenache. And this comes from one of the 3 areas best known for garnacha. One is Calatayud, the other is Cariñena, and finally, this region is Campo de Borja. They're all fairly near each other in, you could say, northeastern Spain, somewhere between Madrid and Barcelona. If you were to draw a line between the two, you'd get into garnacha country. Nice stuff. It's kind of dusky, musky, spicy, a little earthy white pepper, and then behind that, a fruit pie cooling off on a windowsill. It's one of my favorite things to smell, but it's like a cherry or berry pie. It's still steaming a bit. Waiting for a hungry thief. Oof. That's nice wine. That's in our Tuesday night wine club this month. And I think it could also work on the Thanksgiving dinner table. 5G, Cinco Garnachas is what that stands for, because it's from 5 of their favorite garnacha plots in Campo de Borja. It's fun to say. All right, our next wine takes us down to Ballard Canyon. We are going to do a Stolpman presentation. I don't believe Pete will be able to come up here in person, but we're going to get him up on the big screen. He will be live. He'll be talking to us. Tom Switzer and I will flank the TV and plug Pete full of questions. So it'll be interactive. Pete will see you. We will see him. So it'll be as if he's here. And in the meantime, we are putting not 1 but 2 Stolpman wines into the California Wine Club. The California Wine Club this month gets La Cuadrilla. A new vintage of that beautiful wine is now out, and a new vintage of Paramaria de los Tecolotes is also out. Paramaria de los Tecolotes. Say it 3 times fast. Tecolotes are owls. It's kind of like a ancient Nahuatl, pre-Mexico, pre-Spanish name for owls in Mexican Spanish. And this is in fact 80% Syrah, 20% Petit Verdot. It's dark and delicious. We are big fans of Syrah, the cool weather style of Syrah for Thanksgiving dinner. It's kind of like Pinot Noir on steroids, I sometimes call it. Very fragrant. You can see the color. It's lovely. I think a lot of people are going to love this new Para Maria. Juicy, good. It also behaves slightly like a oversized Beaujolais, like a darker Gamay. Lovely wine. Yes, Stolpman is back on the shelf, back in the wine club, and we're going to be hearing about Stolpman again in a second, but first let's fly over to France. Let's go to the Southern Rhone for a wine that thinks it's from the Northern Rhone. In other words, the Southern Rhone usually emphasizes Grenache in its blends, where a Grenache, maybe 60-70% plus some Mourvèdre and some Syrah is a typical blend in the Southern Rhone. Well, this happens to be 100% Syrah. I already told you that we have an appreciation for Syrah with Thanksgiving dinner, especially if you're smoking the turkey or, you know, the dark meat will especially like this. But I think the fruit of Syrah will work with just about everything you've got going on that table. Oh yeah, this is fun. 100% Syrah. It's a Northern Rhone style, Southern Rhone wine, which is a little confusing, but it's quite delicious wine. That's fun. With more body than the Para Maria. Num num num. All right. And finally, I said it would happen, and we are in fact returning to Stolpman for their more traditional looking label. Stolpman Vineyards emphasizes Syrah, and yet they do a bang-up job with Sangiovese, and rare for that, because California, the United States in general, has a hard time getting Sangiovese right. I mean, we have totally conquered Cabernet and Pinot Noir and such, but there aren't that many truly great Sangiovese producers in California. Stolpman has been doing it right. Maybe their area is just perfect for the grape. There it is. Wow, I could be in Tuscany right now smelling this. Cherries, of course we referenced that, but what we hope for from Sangiovese is also kind of a Sottobosco quality. Sottobosco is kind of like underbrush. And there it is. This is complex and good. The red fruit. I love red fruit wines with Thanksgiving dinner. That's why Pinot Noir is automatic, and Sangiovese is red, not necessarily purple fruit, and it kind of acts like the cranberry relish. It's going to be a nice flight, and if you haven't had enough of Thanksgiving wines, don't worry, we have one more week of Thanksgiving wines on the wine bar menu, and they'll be different from these. I believe we'll be going to Beaujolais next week. Wouldn't that be appropriate? Just like Alsatian wines, Beaujolais are often turned to for that Thanksgiving meal. At any rate, I've got to go set up the wine bar, and the menu's already printed. What do I do next? I put this on YouTube, and I send you an email, and I hope I have it in me to write up perhaps 20 different best Thanksgiving dinner wines of the year. So a written list. Some of you like to watch, some of you like to read. So I try to appeal to all of you. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend. Come see us. Once again, everything gets a lot more interesting and crowded on Alsace Day. We're not taking reservations necessarily, but I do believe you should come early for that to make sure you get a seat and get a little food to go along with your Alsatian wine. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you soon.